Join me as I venture into the complexities of the UK riots, exploring the cultural tensions that fuel them. Understanding these riots is critical to grasping the societal issues at play in the UK. The country's cultural fabric is woven from diverse threads, but the fabric yarn is frayed, and the threads are starting to unravel. Riots are a manifestation of deeper issues, and it's essential to acknowledge and address these underlying tensions to prevent further unrest. Economic disparity is a significant contributing factor to the UK's cultural tensions. The widening wealth gap between the rich and the poor has created an environment of inequality, where certain communities feel they have no stake in society. This sense of disenfranchisement can lead to feelings of anger, frustration, and hopelessness, ultimately boiling over into violent protests. Social injustice is another critical factor. Systemic racism, biases in the education system, and discriminatory policing practices have all contributed to an environment where certain communities feel they're not being heard or represented. When people feel they have no voice, they're more likely to take to the streets to express their grievances. The breakdown in community relations is also a key challenge. As communities become more fragmented, social cohesion breaks down, and individuals start to feel isolated and disconnected from their surroundings. This disconnection can lead to a sense of distrust and hostility towards authority figures, increasing the likelihood of clashes between rioters and law enforcement. Historically, the UK has struggled to engage with its multiculturalism. The lack of representation, misrepresentation, and stereotyping of certain communities have created an environment of mistrust and resentment. This was evident during the 2011 London riots, where the underlying tensions between the black community and the police came to the fore. The riots were sparked by the police shooting of Mark Duggan, but they were also fueled by years of simmering discontent and frustration within the community. The 1981 Brixton riots, the 1985 Broadwater Farm riots, and the 2001 Bradford riots all share a common thread, a sense of marginalization and disenfranchisement within the communities involved. These events were not just isolated incidents of violence, but were instead a manifestation of deeper cultural tensions that had been building over time. One key event that encapsulates the cultural tensions is the 2011 London riots. The fact that the riots started in Tottenham, a predominantly black area, and then spread to other parts of the city, is telling. It highlights the deep-seated frustrations and sense of marginalization within the black community. The riots were also marked by the widespread use of social media, which allowed the message of discontent to spread quickly and amplify the feelings of anger and frustration. Personal stories from the 2011 riots are harrowing. Take, for instance, the story of Marianne, a young black woman who witnessed the riots firsthand. She spoke of seeing police officers standing by as rioters vandalized shops, feeling like the authorities were more interested in controlling the narrative than in protecting the community. Her story and many others like it highlight the depth of the cultural tensions and the sense of betrayal felt by many within these communities. Data from the riots also reveals the intensity of the situation. In 2011, over 5,000 people were arrested, and more than 1,000 buildings were damaged or destroyed. The financial cost of the riots was estimated to be over 200 million. These statistics are shocking, but they only tell part of the story. They don't capture the human cost, the fear, the anxiety, and the sense of mistrust that lingered long after the riots had ended. In conclusion, understanding the cultural tensions behind the UK riots is critical to addressing the societal issues at play. By acknowledging the underlying factors, such as economic disparity, social injustice, and community relations, we can start to work towards a more equitable society. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic in the comments below.